what is lacking out there, you have the solution inside. You have the solution within you. So it must relate with what is out there from what is in here. That is why you hear people say, never put a round peg in a square hole. Hi, my name is David King David. You are welcome to Purpose and Destiny Palace, where we celebrate the genius in people and also learn how to bring out the genius in us through a sound purpose station. Today, we are going to be looking at another very important topic, which is titled How to Develop Your Academic Subject Gifts. From our previous teaching, we were able to establish the fact that it is the responsibility of the individual to develop his or her academic subject gift from the seed of endowment through the seed of talent and the seed of skill. It is a non-negotiable endeavor from the individual. That means it is a must for the individual to pass through these three stages, because like we have said, until you are able to move from the seed of endowment to the seed of skill, even if you are endowed with the gift, you cannot be said to be gifted. And I know that with what will come out from today's teaching, you will understand that you have a responsibility to put into make the genius in you come alive. Number one way to develop your academic subject gifts as a student is what we call search for relevant knowledge. At this junction, I like to say that it is not all knowledge that is relevant to your magnetic field of understanding, as we have established. And the reason why we tend not to remember or get the in-depth of the things we thought we have understood is because there is no relationship with the knowledge we are bringing in to the magnetic field of understanding that is deposited in us to bring out the genius in us. So it is very vital that for us to be creative and innovative, we need to bring the knowledge out there to marry with the knowledge within. So it is when the knowledge within and the knowledge outward is merged together that we are able to get a creative work. That is to say, what the Creator created you for, that He gave you the software to prepare it, to process it, and when you find the raw materials out there, there's a synergy that makes everything come out in a very perfect piece. Thus, whatever that is given to us to become, whatever that we are created to do on earth, we need to know it from the inside of us first. That is why it is called innate knowledge. From the inside of us first, and marry it with the particles in the surface of the earth for us to be able to give life to what we have on the surface of the earth. It simply means what is lacking out there, you have the solution inside. You have the solution within you. So it must relate with what is out there from what is in here. That is why you hear people say, never put a round peg in a square hole. The round peg must match with the round hole. So for you to have creativity and innovation in continuum, it has to do with the ability for you to bring out these things from inside of you to be able to give life to what is outside. And that is the reason why it must be the relevance of its connectivity. Relevant knowledge is very vital. You cannot be saying that you want to do something in mathematics, for instance, for an exam, and you are gathering knowledge from geography. No. Mathematics exam needs to have relevant knowledge of mathematics of the previous studies for you to be able to be prepared to write the exam. That's what we are trying to say. Now, the way to search for relevant knowledge are numerous. Number one, you can get that from the books that you can lay your hands on that are relevant. Two, you can get it from counselors. Three, you can get it from professionals. Four, you can get it from the internet. The internet has made things so easy for us. Whatever field of discipline you want to get relevance with, you want to get knowledge that is connected to your destiny, to your purpose, all you need to do is to get into the internet. Go to libraries. Watch videos of specialties, people that have gone far ahead of you. And by so doing, you'll be able to know that what you have inside is relating with them, and everything just begin to organize itself until you get to the point where what you have within they don't have, because you are the one carrying the newest application software. As I have said before, that is the reason they came before you, because I know that no producer produces the best first. What is normal in creativity is you produce the worst first and you innovate on it and it becomes better. So God is not and has never made a mistake for bringing you after them, because He brought you after them so that you can bring every one of us to the next phase of that career, for you to bring every one of us to the next phase of that discipline, to bring every one of us to the next phase of that service. The best way to develop your academic subject gifts is to study in line with your academic subject gifts. If you're not a science-oriented person, there is no reason for you to go into the university or a polytechnic to study anything that has to do with sciences. Otherwise, you will find yourself struggling with the subject matters. Even the basic ones become so complex for you. So we need to stick to the guidelines that I'm trying to expose us into. I'm talking about those that must be in the four walls of any institution of learning. It has to be with what is engrafted inside your nature. And as you begin to study in line with academic subject gifts, naturally the gift in you that is at the seed of endowment begins to develop itself, begins to grow, because it's already in a process of development to the next stage, which is the seed of talent. And by the time you keep growing it, you keep studying in that same line, going wide in different areas that is connected to that same subject gift, you end up being at the seed of skill. And that is where you become an indispensable personality for everyone to hope for. The second way to develop our academic subject gifts is what is called practice. Practice from where you are. It is very important that you practice with the knowledge you have researched over time. Knowledge accumulated and that is not put to work, that one did not put to work, becomes useless. It's an abuse of time and resources. The knowledge becomes recessive, the knowledge becomes impotent, the knowledge becomes not effective. Whereas on its own, knowledge gives power. What I'm trying to say here is this: the knowledge you have must be put to test. You must practice with the knowledge you have. It's like you being in a gym house. You want a specific kind of body fixture. What you do, you go to the gym house and begin to carry the weights. The more you carry the weights, the more you want to carry more. That is, you are practicing. Now, when you start gathering knowledge, there is always going to be a need for you to put it to test, for you to practice with it. And when you put the first one to test, it works for you, you have more reasons to test more. That means your value gets enhanced. The more you practice with the knowledge, the more better you become. That is why they say practice makes perfect. Without practicing, there is no way there can be any form of perfection. Because some of the knowledge that you think you have need a little heat from here, a little rain from here, to put it in the perfect perspective in you. I'm talking about challenges. Unforeseen challenges will come, and it is that knowledge that you've gathered that you will put to work. So it is important for us to practice with the knowledge we've gathered. Knowledge of your academic subject gives you true power and also secures for you handleable and tangible prosperity when you trade the knowledge effectively. Economic power is dependent on a robust and also a continuous search for relevant knowledge to continuously grow in development. The time we stop brings the knowledge stagnant. But when we continue to grow in this knowledge, we have more and more value that we dispense into the economy. The purpose of developing your academic subject gift is actually to bring out the genius in you. Without that development, you might not be able to get to that climax of it that we have established as the seed of skill. Even when you get to the seed of skill, I can guarantee you, you are still going to meet a lot of people ahead of you. That is why it's a seed. So your seed has to continue to grow. That's the reason we have to keep looking out for relevant knowledge until you get to the pinnacle where you are bringing out a branch that others do not have. And that will be your uniqueness. That will be your treasure for the world. And that is fulfilling purpose, which is original from God to you when you continuously study in line with your academic subject gift. The genius in you will come alive when you continue to study in line with your academic subject gift. Please do not try to branch into areas that you are not called into. It's going to be a distraction and it's going to reduce your value, because you don't venture into an area where somebody is truly gifted. You will never be better than that person. So maintain your call, maintain your place, because it is only he that is planted in the house of our God that flourishes in the courts of our God. Your flourishing is tied to your continuous study in line with academic subject gifts and truly practicing with them. That is why the best you can do for yourself is to practice with your gift, because practice makes perfect. The genius in you will be perfected through practice.